So how's the community been? Because I was just saying earlier on, actually, I was just live on TikTok and I was saying that obviously Kromatika is not a brand new project. You've obviously been around a little while now, and so this isn't like a promotional pre-sale AMA. This is an educational and awareness AMA. To sort of get the message out there of who you are and how things are going. But how's the socials going at the moment? 'Cause I know that's your field of expertise.
Yeah, basically, I'm a part of the growth guild. So I'm mostly in community interaction within Telegram and within Discord or the Twitter account, handling social channels and yeah, handling like AMAs, being a part of AMAs. And yeah, we have different people in our team with the different tasks. And yeah, my main task is talking.
Excellent. Okay, and I don't want to keep things going on too late for the UK people or keep you hanging around longer than I need to because I know how busy your socials are at the moment. Um, the numbers are a little bit lower than I was expecting, but as I said, it is recorded, so we'll get the recording out made available as well. So we'll crack on through with it if you're okay with starting now.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Excellent. Okay. So, obviously, as you're aware, I was researching low caps, generally for myself, which I share with the Discord. It's a free community. Kromatika was one of the ones that I came across that I liked, I bought into, and then approached the team. So, obviously, you sort of already introduced yourself and your role within the socials over there. But let's get into the project itself. So, what is Kromatika, and how would you explain it to someone else who isn't familiar?
Mhm. Yeah, Chromatica is a DEX, a decentralized exchange, with different tasks to fulfill. We want to become a one-stop DEX, like every single kind of trade you imagine. We want to keep it served in our platform. So currently, Chromatica is about swaps, is about limit orders, is about perpetual trading, and is about gasless trading. So everything around decentralized trading, Chromatica is your choice.
Excellent stuff. Um, and with regards to the decentralized trading, obviously at the moment you're on Ethereum mainnet, which is obviously the layer one, but you're also on the layer twos, which is Arbitrum, Optimism, and Polygon. Um, are there any plans to expand that to other layer twos, or are we focusing on
So
those for the short term?
yeah. Currently, we're focusing on level one, like Ethereum and Arbitrum and Optimism and Polygon level twos. We will first grow these connections and grow the level twos. For example, we got a grant for Optimism to grow the ecosystem there. So this chains will be our main task for the first, and we won't have the target to expand it further for now.
Yeah, and of course we've seen optimism in particularly grow very very quickly. We know that Arbitrum's growing quickly as well, but obviously optimism has its own token, so it's kind of
Yeah.
been more visible with the growth and success there. What was the? How much was the funding? How much was the grant that was awarded to Chromatica?
Yeah, we proposed a kind of marketing plan for Optimism, and we got 300,000 OP token. So currently, I'm not sure what the price of OP is, but it should be about 600, $700,000.
Yeah, I was going to put that in my head as well. So with regards to Chromatica itself and how it came to be, what was the motivation behind Chromatica? What kind of led to the inception of the project?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The founders back then in November last year, they saw a problem that needed to be solved. So they wanted to offer a truly decentralized limit order feature, and the one that were already existing on the market, they were too expensive, were bot attack were attacked by bots and high swap fees and price slippage. And so they came up to the idea to utilize the feature of Uniswap v3 and to create the FELO, the so-called fee earning limit orders. And this was the start of Kromatika back then in November.
That Uniswap V3 feature is going to be very, very, very interesting. I really like the look of it. I know there's a few people in here that are quite familiar with it already as well. So it's quite an exciting feature and very much, I think, a timely development in terms of where we are, because no one's, we've lost faith and trust in centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, especially with Ethereum and mainnet. As you said, the problem is it's so expensive and it's so prone to bot attacks and gas fees that are horrendous most of the time when it's busy. So the V3 is going to be a very interesting development, I think. So there's mention as well in the there's mention as well in the white paper of the chain link sort of side of things. What's with regards to the DEX setup? What's the chain link setup there? How does that work in terms of being part of the DEX and the setup there? How does it integrate?
So when it comes to Chainlink keepers, what are you talking about? It's pretty difficult for me to explain as I'm the most kind of member of growth, community growth. So I would keep this for our developers, and it would be easy for them to explain it to you or to the community when they join our Discord channel. But to be honest, if I try to explain it, I'm not pretty sure if I will keep it the right way. So please be.
That's fair enough. I know we were expecting a colleague of yours who was the kind of like the technical side of things, and unfortunately they couldn't make it. So if anyone does have any technical questions, then we'll, as you said, we'll get them into the socials, or we can get the questions submitted and get some answers back into the Discord for people to review. I appreciate your honesty there, rather than just trying to get an answer out. So in terms of the background and the experience of the team. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of where the core team, who they are and where they came from, what their backgrounds are?
Yeah. So basically, I said we had two founders back then in November last year. And yeah, a lot of things happen in more than 1 year. So currently we are about 11 people from across the world contributing to the protocol. And as we, lately turned into a DAO, we kind of contribute to the protocol, and every community member can contribute to the protocol via our platform as we platform at dwork. Dwork is some kind of homepage where you can see tasks, running tasks from the core contributor, and also tasks you can claim for yourself. So if you're a community member and you know how to design a marketing campaign, you can join there and see the campaign, and you can claim it for you, and then you can contribute to the DAO. So
this is where
like I said.
So this is where that phrase "core contributors" comes in. So it's not so much a part of a centralized like corporate team. It is a network of people who have the right skill sets to do the jobs that are needed to be done. So they're kind of not outsourced, but you call in people with the right relevant experience, and they're your core contributors. So would you say that there's not a central team as such? Or do you use like a bank of people with those skill sets that you then ask to do the task? Because it's not like a normal corporate structure, is it? It's almost like it's not outsourced but insourced to contributors. But are these people known to the team already?
Yeah, the people are known within the, let's say, core contributors, and we have different guilds, like the Growth Guild, the Engineering Guild, the Signers Guild, and those core contributors working together. I mean, clearly, some of them have some kind of power or skills that are needed to keep the project going or keep it developing, like our developers. This is kind of based on them. So we yeah, we have our working people there, and they keep on delivering. And yeah, sometimes we have yes, kind of outsourced work from some of our community members that want to contribute. But yeah, when it comes to our development, we have some within our core contributors. It is also written in our documents that are yeah further developing the ecosystem and the interface and the dApp and keep it upgraded and updated.
In terms of the kind of guilds within the Kromatika DAO, do you have any problems in terms of keeping to roadmap timings? Have there been any significant delays in using this kind of guild DAO approach?
To be honest, I think it's running quite good. Basically, in the last months, we had some time the problem that to deliver on a deadline. It's always hard to keep a hard deadline. Also, when it comes about to developing. So the targets we have in our build plan, they are not fixed to a specific date, but to the ongoing timeline. So I think, to be honest, the timeline or the build plan is in a good position, good condition. We have no big delays on the topics we want to deliver, and the community members can, or the topics the community suggested are also in a good line. So to be honest, it's quite good, and we have a very good experience about this kind of structure.
Yeah, it's just something that I'm thinking out loud because I've not come across the kind of the guild model before, so it's just something I'm personally interested in.
Yeah.
So it's good that it's generally running on time, but I suppose obviously more importantly you want it right rather than to a strict deadline, don't you? So if you're delivering both of those, that's going very very nicely indeed, I suppose.
Yeah.
So returning to the Kromatika product itself now, obviously we talked about Kromatika being a DEX system with limit orders, but
Mhm.
what other kind of products or services are currently available within the ecosystem? What currently makes Kromatika tick? What's it currently processing or achieving?
Mhm. So we are offering also a meta swap aggregator. So we are aggregating between different DEXs to offer the best market price for the customer that wants to swap a token. And for that, we are utilizing OX, 1inch, and Uniswap. And our platform or our interface is then looking for the best rate for the customer to swap. That's the one thing. The other thing is, let's keep it as swapping. We some weeks ago we launched a gasless swap. Gasless swap means you don't need to have the original chain token. Like on layer one, you don't need to have Ethereum in your wallet to swap a token for another token. So what's the idea behind it? To just give it a bit more practice and make it a little bit more easy for the customer to swap tokens. So if you want to swap token A for token B, the gas fee, there is a gas fee. You can't avoid gas fees on chain. That's not possible. But the fee won't be taken from Ethereum, but will be taken from the swapped token for A to B. So we are working with Bioeconomy in this situation, in this case, and that's a pretty cool feature where we worked a very long time on it. And currently, we also have a free running or free trading campaign on Polygon because we are currently on Polygon with Gasless. And so, if your community wants to swap for free, gasless swap for free, then you can join us at the Polygon chain, and yeah, you can try it out and give us feedback. Would be cool.
So that swapping, that gasless swap on Polygon, is that just Polygon to Polygon, or is that going to be cross
Yeah,
bridge?
yeah, yeah. It's Polygon to Polygon. Like if you do a normal swap, but you don't do it with the native token, but you do it with the token A to B or the token you want to swap to. So that the fee will be taken from the pair you are trading with, and you don't need to have Ethereum or Matic for the basic chain fee like you would need to pay in the regular way, but it will be taken from the token you are swapping.
Okay, that's pretty cool, because obviously, like, part of the pain sometimes can be making sure you've got enough Ethereum or enough Matic or enough whatever in your wallet to do the swap. So yeah,
Exactly.
I can see definitely that it's really good that we're getting rid of that for that instance as well. But ultimately, who doesn't like trading without paying any fees? I mean, there's quite a few projects on Matic that I know a lot of people out there like. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So
Yep.
carrying on down with that. I mean, because I haven't had a chance to kind of, I'm not overly technically minded. So do you know? Obviously, I know your that's not your kind of field of expertise either. But is that
Mhm.
gasless swaps? Is that to do with the Uniswap V3 concentrated liquidity pools, or is that slightly different?
When it comes to the Uniswap V3 concentrated pools, then it's about FILO. Then it's about our fees earning limit orders. I can make a short explanation for that. When it comes to our FILO feature, we are utilizing the Uniswap V3 pool. So basically, everyone could be a liquidity provider on Uniswap V3 and earn a liquidity providing rewards. But as our founders thought back then, we need to make it practicable for the end user and make it as easy as possible. So, and when you want to kinda swap a token on Uniswap v3 via our Philo feature, you choose the token A, and this token will be deposited into Uniswap v3 as liquidity, and then you choose your target token. You need a trading pair that's already there. Let's say Kromatika for Ethereum, and then you are a kind of liquidity provider to this pool. So, and then you're setting your price target, and this is the concentrated liquidity range. Your token are then deposited, and then when it comes to trading within this pool, you, like I said, you're acting like a liquidity provider. And if the trading ranges passes your concentrated liquidity, you will get the other token of your chosen pair and also earn yeah, liquidity provider rewards on top of the trade. So it's not only about I swap and I pay fees for it, but you earn fees for it because you're a liquidity provider and you achieve the swapped pair afterwards. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer because it's always about the trading range and if there's enough volume in this range, but it's definitely worth it because yeah, you earn money while the trading is in your trading zone or in your liquidity zone.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. That's like, I'm not, because although obviously I've gone through everything, it's kind of like supervision. It's good to just sort of get clarification on one or two things you're not sure where slot in. So that's just where my mind's been going at the moment. Obviously, something else that's come into it, and I've read a little bit on the perpetual trading side. So I think it was voted for by the DAO
Yeah.
to add a perpetual futures trading platform as part of this as well. So that was with Apollo X, I think. Can you sort of dive into that and let us know what we can do with that perpetual futures trading platform? Is it available yet? Is it up and running?
Yeah, exactly. We are live running since weeks ago already, and yeah, we partnered with Apollo X, like you said, and this is just one piece of the puzzle that we wanted to keep together to be a one-stop DEX. So people or customer that are part of the Kromatika, um, and that also want to do perpetual trading, we wanted to keep them with us. So that's why we integrated the perpetual trading solution with Apollo X, and you can trade up to 70 trading pairs to up to 100 leverage. So yeah, currently our daily volume has risen to, I would say, about 800,000. So yeah, this is quite. It's getting good. So
Yeah, I mean, because that's always been part of the problem with DEXs, isn't it? DEXs haven't really traditionally been able to do that kind of futures trading. So Chromatica's introducing the gasless, it's introducing the kind of one-stop shop for swaps. It's also got the kind of the gasless trading, but now it's also integrated perpetual futures trading, which is a big part of what the centralized exchange business was.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
in terms of the trading on the futures as well, are the fees cheaper on the futures as well? Is it all fees on Chromatica, sort of reduced or gasless?
Um, when it comes to fees, when we were talking about the perpetual trading, the fee solution provided by Apollo X is way cheaper than the market competition. That's for sure. When it comes to the Philo, um, but at the Philo, it's kind of how to explain. Now it's getting technically. As far as I know, when it comes to Philo, the initial fee is a little bit higher because it's another way of transaction. Because you're a liquidity provider, you're not just singly swapping a token. You provide liquidity, and the provided liquidity then will get used into the pool. So the initial transaction is a little bit more expensive, but it will be worth more because you earn the liquidity providing
Yeah,
rewards.
and I've just realised that obviously because the futures is done via Apollo X, it's not going to
Yeah.
be subject to anything that you offer anyway. It's going to be subject to their terms of trade. So yeah, so the gasless and all the Philo stuff wouldn't be able to be integrated into that, I suspect, at least not yet.
Yeah.
Um,
No, no. Yeah.
yeah, which is fair enough. Now I've sort of thought it through out loud. It makes complete sense that that wouldn't happen. But yeah, like I said, for a DEX to have futures trading, I mean, I think that's a massive step in the right direction. I sort of mentioned it earlier that I think people have lost trust and faith in centralized exchanges.
Mm-hmm.
For a decentralized exchange to offer some of the major services that they were doing, because I said there's not many. I can't think of any other dexes myself where there's futures opportunity on a dex.
Yeah.
There's some ones that you can play around with, like on PancakeSwap and that, where they've sort of gamified it, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
true futures trading. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool that that's been made available on a decentralized exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of, obviously, that's like I said, that was launched sort of 6 weeks or so ago. So what are the next kind of focuses for the project? What's the next goals that are being worked on for the next kind of 6 to 12 months as we sort of look
Okay.
towards the future?
Yeah, as we already said, we want to keep it as simple as possible, and that's why our big improving point currently is the UI. So still, some people have some issues to handle our Philo feature and the swap function or the limit order function behind it. So improving the UI is the next big step, and we are on a good path. And yeah, besides the UI interface update, we are also got two proposals by cross-chain DEX aggregators like LiFi and Rango. We're currently in the final, let's say, negotiations for integration, or at least for to put it into a DAO voting, and then we can, through this DEX aggregators, we can offer even more features for our customers. And besides that, like I already told, we won the OP grant, 300,000 OP token. And this will be a massive campaign coming within this year or within the next weeks or months to go. Because, yeah, there will be a lot of features, possibilities for people to farm, to earn OP within their swaps. And yeah, it's quite a big thing. Let's say, it's the second or the biggest thing besides our Philo feature that's coming. So I'm quite excited. Um, Later, I would like to share the link to the optimism government phase where we proposed our marketing campaign or the campaign, so your community can read through it, and then you have a deeper insight look for it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem. I can if you ping me that link later on, then I can copy that into the channel, and they can do some more research and read through that. That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, I assume that you guys aren't the only ones sort of working towards this perpetual decentralized exchange protocol DApp scenario. I mean, do you know who your major competitors are in the space, and kind of what sets you above them at the moment? Why we might consider Kromatika above any other sort of competitors that come up in the space?
So you have different competitors, yeah, of course. But mostly, and that's the interesting part, they are in their own zone. Let's say there's a perpetual trading platform, there is a swap platform, there is a limit order platform, but they are not putting those features together like Chromatica is doing it. And that's kind of the unique thing, and I think we are on a good way there to offer the most solutions into one platform and to keep it as simple as possible for the user. And yeah, that's why it's yeah, there is competition, but the competition is always on a specific area. And when it comes to the whole, to be honest, I don't see any competition.
Awesome, awesome. And like I said, I'm struggling to think of any other dexes that do perpetual futures. I know that there probably are, and I just haven't come across them. But it's
Mm.
certainly not something that's commonplace yet. But there's bound to be lots of people working on it. And like you said, though, with all the different bits and pieces that you're working in there, like like you say, your Philos, your gasless trading, and obviously the DAO system and the perpetual platform all together, it's a really nice tidy solution. That's kind of like why I liked it. It was doing a lot, but obviously it's nice to get the sort of how it all ties together. So I mean, all being well, sort of at the sort of let's say in 3 to 5 years, Chromatica's done really well, and you've achieved everything that you set out to achieve at the moment. Where do you actually see that being? What do you envisage Chromatica being in 3 to 5 years?
Yeah. So the cool thing is currently, let's say we're still in a bear market, and it's it's cool to see the features are growing and the adoption or the usage of the products is there, and we're getting more and more users, and we would like to see, or we can imagine to see over 100,000 users using the DApp within the next years. So that's quite a big step for us, and the adoption is there. It's coming step by step, and that's how you grow big.
So for you guys, your biggest measure is the number of active. Is it active users? I assume is it you want to get 100,000 active users on the DApp?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a fair assessment. Yeah, I mean that's as a 3 to 5 years is a long time. In a bear market, we don't truly know the effect that's going to have on timescales, do we? So it's just kind of it's nice to throw that long time scale out,
Yeah.
and just see what the ultimate aim is. Just obviously for you to have it being used. I suppose if it's being used, it's going to be making the token holders and yourselves some turnover and some money. Um, so at the moment, I mean, in terms of that 3 to 5 year kind of period, I mean, do you have any kind of more plans in the pipeline to continue developing the project? And obviously, we've talked about sort of the next 6 to 12 months. Have you got any sort of plans that take it to that 3 to 5 year goal?
Yeah. So basically, Chromatica has returned to the DIO. It's an ever evolving product, let's say day by day by the community and by the core contributors. And so the buildable plan is a living plan. And if there is a cool feature coming from the community, coming from the core, we will add it as a feature. And a there's still a way or a chance to keep features integrated and keep additional ideas integrated. And so it's yeah, it's not about the destination for Chromatic, but more about the completing milestones. So when we complete one milestone, it doesn't mean we finish there, because the next day there could be an idea from a community member, we vote on it, and then we have a new milestone to achieve.
Awesome. Good to hear. It's nice to hear that kind of, it's not going to be, get to 100,000 users, pens down, we're done, we can all go home, job's finished, kind of approach. So that's really good. So I think sort of that initially the project is kind of covered there. I think. I mean, if we move on to sort of the next stage of concerns that I would have if I was looking to invest is kind of like the tokenomics side of things. So how was the Crom token launched?
Chrome was fair launched 14th November last year on Uniswap, and what was also very important for myself, there were no VCs or pre-sales in this launch. So we launched with 100 million Chrome token in the middle of November last year.
Okay. And so it's obviously the total supply is 100 million. So with the core contributors, then obviously if there was no team tokens, no VCs or pre-sales, are the core contributors rewarded in Crom tokens for their contributions? Do we know how
Exactly.
much is tied up in kind of team or contributor tokens?
We have a vesting, or we have a DAO treasury, and at the beginning of the DAO, when we restructured to a DAO, we had a vote on the white paper, let's say, and there was the kind of calculation for the core contributors within their incentives was written down there. People voted on it and we accepted it, and so. We have a vesting solution for tokens we don't need right now, just to keep it safe in a lock. And we also have the team treasury. I could share a document for it because it's easier to visualize. We have it very nice visualized on our doc
Oh,
page.
brilliant. Yeah, I mean, if you've got more documentation on kind of the distribution or the call it the vesting of those tokens, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the figures to hand, but we can get a document on it, then that'd be great. I'll put some links and resources into the Kromatika channel for people to go away and research afterwards. So that'd be great if we can get access to that. As I said, it's just tokenomics is always one of those things. It's really good to hear that there were no VCs or pre-sales, because that always creates a kind of selling pressure. I mean, I know that we're kind of over a year on from where you launched anyway, because obviously I think it was November 21. This is why I like the project. You were around in 2021. You're still there now. You're still building. Everything's still active, which is why it caught my interest. But yeah, if we can just get confirmation on the kind of vesting schedule, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you. So in terms of the token itself, what would you describe the role of the token as? I know obviously we've said it's very much a DAO kind of environment. Is the DAO voted on by token holdings? What's Crom's role in the ecosystem?
Mhm. Okay, so basically, you need the Chrome token to use our unique Philo feature, because at the Philo feature, to remember, Philo, fees earning limit orders. So to use our limit orders, you need to pay a small service fee in Kromatika token, in Chrome token. For that, you need to deposit token into our dApp, and then you can set up your Philo. And once it gets executed, the system is taking a small service fee from your Chrome deposit. Everything is explained, like the minimum amount you need in your dApp dashboard to let the transaction execute. Because if you have a too less amount, the transaction maybe not execute. So that's the first feature, like using as a service fee token. The second feature is you are able to be a part of the governance, like the DAO. You are able to vote one-on-one. One token is one vote. So if we have a proposal and a snapshot vote, you can vote with your Kromatika token for yes, no, or you can just leave it be. That's the feature number two. And that's not kind of active or active feature, but when it comes to the Chrome token, there's a burning system, because the initial founders were burning the proof of liquidity. So at the initial start of the project, they burned the proof of liquidity. So every fees getting collected within Uniswap, they are blocked or aka burned. So those fees are getting accumulated day by day with every sell of Kromatika token. And currently we already burned about 2.4% of the total supply. So 2.4 million Crom token are already burned within
12
or
months before you get a.
because of the trading.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's pretty good as well. Because you consider that's 12 months into your development. Obviously, the active trading side has probably not been active for that whole 12 months. And by your own admission, at the moment, the kind of user numbers are quite immature. So that in
Mhm.
theory, in a couple of years, could be a significant percentage of the total supply.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. So in theory, and you say that is it actually burnt or is it just sent to like a dead wallet in a liquidity somewhere?
So as the proof of liquidity is burned, the fees of the trade are getting accrued within the Uniswap. So, but you can't claim it. You don't have the ownership of these fees anymore. You don't have the ownership of the liquidity anymore because we sent the proof to the dead wallet. So we can't claim the fees, and the fees they are gone forever. Nobody can ever touch it.
Yeah. So, the next point I think for me would be if all of this started happening, and as I said, the burns kind of started happening, and we had this kind of 6 to 12 month goal and maybe a 3 to 5 year goal. What day to day, what would you think is the most important measure of success for Chromatica during these periods? Because obviously we want to see the adoption up to 100,000 user figures, but day to day, what do you think are there kind of smaller success indicators that you use to kind of make sure you're on the right path?
Hmm. So let's say day by day, it's it's nice to have people reflecting the product and saying, "Oh yeah, I had a nice philo trade and I earned this or that kind of extra rewards." And besides that, we saw that with our continuing work and like success, other projects coming to us and want to contribute or join with us, and that's cool because this is kind of a networking effect. So projects joining us or want to work with us, and then we can spread our fingers out and even grow the system faster and even more wider than if we were solely on our own. So it's day by day, it's the community members giving feedback and other protocols contacting us and asking for a contribution or for a partnership, and that's what the days make. Yeah, what every day is making cool or good.
I suppose in your role that you're very much at the forefront of that. So you measure the feedback that you get from the community as to how well things are going, I suppose, and you're at the forefront in your kind of community manager role, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's cool. That's a reasonable kind of response. I mean, with regards to our current position in the bear market, obviously, I know I appreciate that things are going well, and it's been around 14, 15 months now, the token. Um, but I'm aware, obviously, you've got the Optimism grant, the 300,000 OP tokens, which is about, as you say, $700,000 right now. But being in
Yeah.
the bear market now for just over, kind of like came out right at the beginning of the bear market, I feel. Um, is there any other kind of funding? Because you didn't have VCs, you didn't have a pre-sale. How is Chromatica being funded?
Hmm.
Is there any kind of other reserves that the project is utilizing to see the project through and develop with? Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
imagine $600,000 in OP tokens isn't a lot on the grand scale of things. You need to have a bigger bag somewhere to rely on. So, is there one? And if so, where is it and how is that funded?
Okay. Yeah. So basically, in the early days, the project was funded by the owners, by the funders, and currently we are having the DAO Treasury wallet with around 6 million Chrome token. And let me check, those 6 million Chrome token are worth around $320,000 currently. And besides that, we also have the vesting solution with around, let me check. Yeah, I think, yeah, also around 6 million Chrome token that are vested and they are released on a period of 2 years and 3 months. Yeah, I could also I could also share a transaction for you or the UNDX link because we locked it there. And yeah, that's kind of the treasury the project is working with, and I think it's solid. Also with the OP token on top, and yeah, we got a long runway.
So yeah, if we can get that link for the transaction as well, that'd be brilliant. So when you say it's locked for 2 years and 3 months, was that from when Chrome was launched back in November 21? So we've probably got about another 12 months before that starts unlocking.
Please, can
Or
you
is it?
rephrase?
So when you say that the locking period is 2 years and 3 months, is that 2 years and 3 months from now, or is it 2 years and 3 months from when it launched back in November?
That's if I recall it right, that's the total amount of time that
Okay, so since it launched, so there'll be obviously less than 2 years, 3 months now, but that'll be the date will be on the transaction anyway, won't it? So we'll
Yeah, it's easier to visualize it within the link because then you can on their homepage you can see the lockings and the release dates. So we have different release dates. It's not all locked till 2 years and 3 months. There are small batches released within those years.
Yeah, and as I said, that sort of makes sense because that's kind of like yeah, that's your funding through the bear market and through development. So I'd expect that. So that's fine. So yeah, as you said, once that link gets shared out, we can have a look at that and just confirm the vesting schedule and kind of the values. That'd be cool. So I think we've covered quite a lot so far in terms of the project and the tokenomics and things. So I think just sort of going a little bit sort of background and maybe a little bit sort of vaguer. What do you think that one of the biggest obstacles the project's had to overcome, apart from the bear market, probably? What other obstacles do you think Chromatica's had in sort of coming to life, coming to fruition?
Hmm. I think it all is kind of depending on the bear market because it's not just a market sentiment, but the people and their emotions and the situation. You keep on delivering, you keep on building, but there wasn't always the appreciation from or the feedback from the community. So sometimes it was hard and struggling because you were thinking, "Oh man, we're doing a good project and we're doing a good product." But there wasn't the appreciation we wanted to see. So it's good to see the adoption is getting more and more, and the market is turning. So people are a little bit more eyes opened. And yeah, I think we went worst times, and it's just getting better.
I hope so as well. I think generally my market sentiment's improved. I think in terms of the bear market, we're over a year in now, I believe, and hopefully that means that shortly we'll be coming out the other side and slowly start making our way up. I
Yeah,
hope, but yeah, the bear market's just been difficult, not just financially, I suppose. So I ruled that out quite quickly. Like you say, it's people's attitudes towards projects as well as the funding. So
yeah,
yeah, you've really got to stand out, I suppose, to get sort of partnerships and things established in bear markets because
yeah,
you have to reassure them that you're going to be around as well.
yeah,
um,
exactly.
okay, so we've just trying to think of some other things we can ask. I mean, if obviously you sort of offered to share some links and things at the end of this, before we go on to questions from the room and the community, we did submitted, as I said before we started. I've got some
Mhm.
questions to ask from the community, which we'll go through in a minute.
Yeah.
But if people want to find out more information, obviously I can share the links in the Discord. But I mean, I know you've got obviously the Twitter, your Discord, your Telegram. Are there any other kind of mediums that people can keep an eye and monitor you from and sort of keep up to date with information?
Yeah, we also got a Medium Medium page where we uploading articles about our features from time to time, or some kind of monthly recaps. So you can join us via Twitter, via Telegram, via Discord, via Medium, and I think that's a lot of a lot of possible streams to connect or to find information.
Well, so I didn't realise you actually used Medium. I sort of phrase, but there is actually a blog out there called Medium, isn't there, that people use? So yeah. I'll get links from you afterwards, and I'll share them in the Discord as well, so that people can, as I say, have a little nose round and try and keep up to date as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move on to some questions that were submitted before the AMA, and then I'll come back to the room if that's okay. I don't know if anyone in the room has got questions yet. I haven't seen any hands go up, but I've been I've been looking around, to be fair. So one question that I was asked, and that's kind of intrigued me as well, is that someone has pointed out that they want to know more about the V3 thing from Uniswap, because as they understood it, the Uniswap code sourced until May. So is Kromatika using Uniswap's V3 code, or is it your own version thereof?
So now you ask
technical. Is that one that we need to pass on?
Yeah, the answer I can give, and I'm sure about, is that we are utilizing the Uniswap V3 pool for the Philo, but how it is technically achieved, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. That's again something for our Discord channel or for our Telegram channel, where we can.
Again, I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because I said I know we were supposed to have someone who was more technically minded to sort of answer those sorts of questions, and they couldn't make it, unfortunately. Okay, let's have a look. So on another one, just confirming, which is a pretty good question actually, I think, it sort of ties back into the financials. Where's the liquidity actually coming from for sort of Uniswap or SushiSwap or these other pools that you're going to have? Is all the liquidity being provided by the users? So you're going to pool all of the user liquidities that they farm together, and they will be your liquidity pools, or are you having them funded separately?
It depends on the feature you want to use. If you use Philo, you definitely use the V3 pools. And at the V3 pools, you have fixed pools like Kromatika Ethereum, for example, or other tokens. There are already created pools within Uniswap V3. And if you use the Philo feature, you kind of putting your token into this already created pool and participate on the trading volume in the concentrated range you are set. So for the Philo, you're using definitely the already existing Uniswap V3 pools. And when it comes to the Metaswap aggregator, like I told, we are aggregating 3 dexes like OX, 1inch, and Uniswap. And so you're using the liquidity or the pools of those 3 dexes to find the best average market price for the user.
That kind of makes sense now. That's brilliant. Thank you. With regards to providing that liquidity in the other pools, is that incentivized? Obviously, in terms of you get like the reduced fee incentives, I suppose, with Philo. But would you get? Are there other incentives? Is it like a staking liquidity pool as well? Do you get staked rewards for providing liquidity, or is it just locked and that's? I don't see that. Apart from the fees, what's the incentive? Is there a mechanism? Is there a percentage return?
So when you use or utilize the Uniswap V3 pools, there is no staking. You're only participating as liquidity provider, and you then therefore earn liquidity rewards or liquidity providing rewards when there is a trading action within your concentrated range.
Of course, yeah, it's the reward mechanism, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, yeah. So it's not a staking pool; it's a liquidity pool, and you get a proportion of the fees from the reward pool. Okay, cool. Yeah. No, that's cool. Thank you. Okay, so I think that covers them. I know that the person that asked the majority of those questions are actually in the room. So if anyone's got any questions now, we can kind of open it up to the floor. If there's anything else that anyone wants to cover. Bacon sandwich, I'm looking primarily at you because I know that you've been looking into 1 inch and their mechanism. Here we go. I'll bring you up, buddy. Welcome, Bacon. How are we doing?
Hey, how are we, guys?
Yeah, very well, thank you. I'm sorry if I didn't sort of get any of your questions put forward in the right way. As I'm just very wary that Danny isn't the tech guy; he's the community guy. So I want to try and say it simply, but yeah, most of those questions were yours. So by all means, mate, fire away. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, I think Danny, you answered a lot of the questions as you were sort of going along. I was sort of wanting to know whether this was a build of V3 trying to sort of utilise the tech but sort of doing it on your own, or whether it was more a front end for Uniswap in the background. So I just want to know if I understand it right. So if you are looking for a price target execution, so you can kind of set your price, you can earn fees while you're waiting for the trade to kind of execute. Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, exactly.
Like in layman's term.
Yeah, because with the Uniswap V3, you are setting your token at a concentrated liquidity, and if the concentrated liquidity gets traded within the pool, you are participating a kind of percentage of the trading fees within this range, and that's your reward. That's your, yeah. So, was it the answer you were looking for, or did I miss something?
I think I understand. Sort of what you're going for. It sounds like a really cool project. You were saying, you're sort of looking to put those perpetual trading things involved as well. And if the user interface is good, like you said earlier, then I think it would be quite successful as long as it's usable and people can pick up and use it.
Yeah. That's I think that's like one of the measures that we said earlier, isn't it, Danny? It's like your measure of success is the feedback from the community and ultimately getting to that high active user level of 100,000. That they're your measures. So if people are happy using it and it continues to grow, then that's exactly what you want. And I suppose that's the only way you can measure if it's being successful.
Exactly. I mean, we are from the community for the community, so it all depends on every single person.
Excellent stuff. Excellent. Again, Sant Bacon, I appreciate your questions, buddy, because you always contribute and you ask some great questions. So I appreciate the questions you put forward. Have you got anything else that you wanted to put forward, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I like optimism. I got the first airdrop, which was cool. And I've been sort of using Optimism as a network, and it's quick, it's cheap, it's really easy to use. It's just a really easy thing to use. I'll probably come over to your decks and do some swaps and see what it's all about. Because I mean, the majority of my trading is on dexes. And Ethereum fees is an absolute killer. So to have something like 1 inch's new solution, where you can basically achieve gasless swaps, I thought that was really cool. And then to hear sort of something similar to what you're doing, it's quite cool.
Just one thing that I thought of, Danny, just on that basis, because I agree with Bacon Sandwich. I hate Ethereum fees. I hate trading it. So to have more dexes like yourselves coming out is brilliant. But I know that a lot of dexes now are integrating kind of fiat payment systems. Is that something that you guys are looking to possibly integrate in the future, do you know? So that we can actually deposit fiat directly into the dex?
I'm not quite sure this is planned by us, to be honest, no.
Yeah, okay. Cool. But just out of interest, I know. It's just one of those things. Cool. No, I appreciate that. I'm very much like you, Bacon Sandwich. I can't wait to get in there and have a play. I mean, I've been playing with Arbitrum at the moment, waiting for them to see if there's going to be an airdrop. But I'm definitely going to come over and have a play in Optimism as well. I think these layer twos are going to be a huge narrative, which is why I really like the placement of Kromatika. I think you're doing a fantastic Dex project, which is very, very promising in a narrative that I think is going to be very, very strong.
I think there will be a narrative. I think there will be a Dex narrative in the next run, for sure. Just purely because of what happened with the big blow-ups of the centralized exchanges, it's really highlighted, how good these Dexes can be. And obviously, you guys are building something cool.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, Bacon. I'm glad you kind of agree with the research. It's always good when someone agrees rather than coming back saying no, you're wrong. Right, okay. Have we got anyone else or any more questions that need to be asked? Just going to quickly go through and see if there's any in general chat. I'm in the questions chat, but I'm just going to have a look just to see if anyone's dropping any questions in there. We have got quite a few people in chat actually just saying they're just going to listen back to it. They didn't join the live, but they will listen back, so that's good. But it looks like we haven't got any more questions. Is there anyone else in the room with any questions? Any hands up? No? Okay, cool. I mean, if you're happy then, Danny-O, I can let you get away and continue to do your community role or go to bed, whichever's first. But no, it's been great to have you in. I don't know if you've got anything further that you want to add before we wind things up.
Yeah, thanks for your time. It was really cool to talk with you and your community, and yeah, it was a pleasure. I will share the links I told to you for the community, and yeah, thanks for your time.
Excellent, and I will get the recording over to you ASAP as well, so you can obviously share that from your side as well. It's been a pleasure having you, Danny. I appreciate your help. Obviously, as we've said all along, if anyone's got any more technical questions that we haven't covered tonight and you'd like to dig into them, we'll get the links across to all the socials and things, and we'll try and get those questions answered.
Yeah, cool. You can also forward them to me, and I will put it into our developers chat. That's also good.
Fantastic, Danny. I appreciate that, buddy. So Danny-O is already in the Discord as well, guys. So you will find him in there. Just as at Danny-O, and you'll find him in there. Question or DM him. I'm sure as he said, he'll sort that out for us.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Then, in that case, then I will wind things up, and I will say thank you, Danny-O. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Kromatika do. I'm definitely on board. So yeah, I'll look forward to see how things go, and I hope to speak to you yourself and the team in the near future.
Yeah, it would be cool. Thanks.
Super. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support. Thank you for coming in, Danny-O. And take care, everyone. See you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.